Hi, thank you for joining us for another Sporting Communities podcast. Sporting Communities are a community interest company. We are an ethical, non-for-profit organisation which services range from sports coaching, youth work, mentors and family support. We are a training academy delivering a range of qualifications, and we also have art and play services. Today, we're again going to be focusing on the positives that can be brought out from the lockdown surrounding mental health, and any tips and bits that we can offer just to help you through this difficult period. So today we're going to try and hit as many positives as possible and talk about all the positives that can be taken, as next week is Mental Health Week. So we want to try and bring as many positives as we can going into that. So thank you for joining us again today. Again, I'm James. I've been with Sporting Communities for just over a year, and I mainly go out into the community helping to coach young people, get them involved in a few sessions and try and put smiles on their faces. I am again joined this week by Ed and Mim, so I'll just let them do a quick introduction as well. So Ed, starting with you.
Hi guys, my name's Ed. I also work for Sporting Communities, help run some of the sports coaching sessions around Derby. My hobbies are going to the gym, staying nice and fit and active, playing sport, so all different types of sport, mainly like football and badminton, coaching badminton as well, spending time with family and friends, watching films, and just trying to enjoy myself really.
Fab. And Mim?
Hi, my name's Mim. I've been working under the Supporting Communities strand of the company for just over a year now, engaging with young people in different communities, in different locations. Outside of work, I'm quite a creative person. I like my music, my art, spending time with family and friends.
Perfect. So firstly, I'd just like to start off by saying obviously a couple of things have changed this week. Some different government guidance has come out about staying alert rather than staying home, which does mean we can all go out a little bit more from our houses, get a little bit more fresh air, and potentially means that some people are going back to work. I just wanted to speak to you both just to see how you're feeling about it, what you thought to the changes, and any sort of changes that's made to the way that you're living your life. So Mim, if we just start with you, if that's okay.
With the new news and stuff, I don't know really. It's a really tough one because obviously it's knowing what to trust, and to sort of, with the news that we've been given, it's sort of taking it, sort of each individual will take it differently. I think it's about still having our wits about us. It doesn't mean we can now go and meet people and do this. We can't push it, otherwise there will be a wave too.
Definitely. I think it's really important that everybody interprets it in the correct way.
Definitely, because
don't just get carried away.
It's such an open piece of information, so I just think we've still got to have our wits about us and be sort of clever in the way that we interpret that, just to keep everyone and ourselves safe. So it doesn't mean that we've been given all this freedom and go and take advantage of it. We still have got to be really careful and not take it for granted and ruin it for everyone. But at the same time, enjoying that bit of freedom and doing it properly the way that we've been advised to. And then hopefully we'll keep having the restrictions lifted. Yeah,
definitely. I know the one main thing that I was pleased with from it was the fact that we can now go out and exercise more than once a day. I know that some days I felt like going for a little jog in the morning, but I know that in the evening I might want to go for a nice walk. And I've kind of felt like I've had to pick between the two. And if I haven't gone out for my morning run, by the afternoon or evening, I feel a little bit lower because I haven't been out and exercised in the morning. So I think just having that little bit of leeway with that is going to make a massive difference to me. I just hope that people don't go crazy with it and start spending all of the time outdoors now.
Definitely, because that will just be taken away from us again. If people aren't sort of respecting it, then it will just be taken away from us and everyone will miss out then. So I think we've just got to be sort of understanding of the people that it's really going to be benefiting, so not to push it.
Yeah, definitely. And how about you, Ed? What did you think to the updates?
Yeah, it was expected really. Like I think I said last week, I wasn't expecting much or had too high hopes, but like Mim just mentioned, I think it's each individual how they take it personally. In my eyes, not a lot's changed at all. But for some people, it'll be big news being able to exercise outside as much as possible. So I thought it was quite positive. It was quite confusing. I know a lot of people have commented recently on, just a case of using your common sense. But like we've just mentioned, it wasn't clear. It wasn't quite clear, and I think some people might struggle. No, like some people like that clear guidance, what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I thought it was good news. I know that obviously Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, they stuck with the lockdown. So it's quite conflicting in terms of that. But like Mim just said, as long as everyone's responsible enough to not get a second wave through and everything goes back. I know that obviously Boris Johnson said about the 5 stages. So 5 would be like the most harsh kind of lockdown. 1 would mean that it's the least, so everything would be lifted. So like you say, it's just a case of sticking to the rules as much as possible and not getting carried away. I think this is where kind of the mindset comes in, stay disciplined.
Being given that model to see as well with the stages 1 to 5, I think that's really positive for a lot of people in a lot of ways, because it gives us something to work towards now, because we didn't see a way out, like to start with, because we didn't have anything to work towards. But now we've got the different stages, it gives us something to see, actually we can get here, and by doing this we can get here. So it gives us something to work towards now, and we can see an end from it through that model.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think as well, I think what will be key from now, in my eyes, is that we keep getting updated with that, because it's no good to show us that model and then only show it us again in a month's time and say, well, now we're here. We need to be knowing each week, where are we now on that model? What is the R rate now? So that we know if we are making the right progress or not. Because if the numbers do start going in the opposite direction, we need to know that before we have to go full lockdown again, because that way people can change the way they're behaving. So I think for me, it's just giving us that constant update, and I suppose giving us that burden of, look, this is where we're at, please act on it responsibly so that we're doing the right things.
Yeah, I agree. I think in terms of a mental health point to go along with the most recent update is that, you know, it is a positive change. You know, it's something it's in the right, we're going in the right direction. So anyone struggling, I think it gives a bit more hope that we are going in the right direction and things are starting to change, as long as everyone again stays disciplined and we keep going in that way. The more disciplined we are, the sooner everything's going to go back to normal. So it was a positive change in terms of, you know, people's mental health watching it. You know, if anyone's struggling, you know, it's good. It's a good news.
I think for anyone as well who's feeling a little bit anxious about going back out there and sort of reintegrating back within society, I think my best advice to you for the next sort of couple of weeks would be just to try to go out once a day, twice a day, whatever, even if it's first thing in the morning or later on in the evening when it is a little bit quieter and there's less people about, just because it will get you used to going outside of your house. I know that some people won't have been doing their one exercise a day and they'll feel like they are confined to their house. And I think it's important that everybody starts to go out again, so that we don't get to a stage where people are actually scared to leave the house. Just get out there and try to reintegrate yourself within society if you can, but just maintaining that social distancing.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, actually, because I think that a lot of people have got in a routine of just staying in, and that's it. Like, they're scared of going out because they're scared of what they might get it. You know, I think, you know, try and go out with a positive mindset. You know, you are allowed to go for exercise now as much as you want. You're allowed to travel as far as you want to go out and exercise and do something. It's all you've got to do is just keep social distancing. So, you know, don't be scared of going out now. You know, I know it's been like this for a few weeks now and you've been stuck indoors, but, you know, the sooner you start to get out, exercise, release some of them positive endorphins around your body, you know, the better.
Yeah, definitely. So talking of exercise, that leads us on to a question that got sent in this week from one of our young people. The young person actually sent in a question with regards to football. He normally looks forward to Saturdays going to football, playing football, and it's something that he's been really struggling with, while the fact that obviously the football season has been postponed indefinitely at the minute. He wanted to know what he can do to take his mind off looking forward to football at the weekend when it's not happening. Any other hobbies and stuff like that he can take up, and just general well-being while he hasn't got that to look forward to. So have we got any advice on that, guys?
Yeah, so with this particular young person, what they've been doing is taking up other hobbies, which I think is really good. It's a way to learn new skills, it's a way to stay positive, and it's also something that can be carried on after lockdown as well, gaining these new skills. So I know that this young person's been doing lots of cooking. So that's a way to sort of engage with the family as well. So like if you're cooking dinner one night for the family, you can take it in turns, you can make it fun, which I think is a key thing. It's about all sticking together and just making the most of what we've got. I know personally we've been taking it in turns each night to cook, and we're like rating each other's meals, and we're sort of making it like a game. Meal times at the minute are something that we're looking forward to, and we're planning, making quite a big thing out of it. So I think it's a really good thing to take up.
I think it's a good time as well to try and eat healthier. I know that when I'm working full time, I definitely struggle to fit in cooking for an hour on an evening, because by the time I get back from work, I'm already tired. You're thinking about the stuff that you've got going on the next day. At the minute, we do all have a little bit longer to ourselves, so we've got longer to prepare things at home. And I know that it's given me the chance to prepare a lot of healthier meals, and actually I feel a lot better for it. It definitely gives a lot more energy. So I would say if you are one of the people who have got a little bit more time on your hands, spend that time cooking healthier meals, go from scratch, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it and you'll feel the benefits of it.
Definitely. And there's just touching on that, James, there's another young person that we've been engaging with who's encouraged her family to 3 nights a week go vegetarian. So that's given them an opportunity to try out new meals, new recipes, have fun with it, a bit of a healthier lifestyle. And I think that's really interesting. So we've been sharing some, I'm a vegetarian, so we've been sharing some sort of meal ideas and stuff. So I think that's a really good, interesting thing that they've chosen to do.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, just touching on the young person that's missing the football, I think that replacing it is great. Like again, just like what you said, Mim, because you think if you've got nothing to replace it, it's going to stay on your mind and you're just going to miss it more and more. I think now they can go out and exercise a bit, get outside in the park and have a bit of fun, take football with you. You can have a kick. You don't need to have anyone else about. You can do some kick-ups, watch some different skills you can learn on YouTube and online and try them out, you know. And like we said with the cooking, if you play football, then that's great. It's going to make you healthier and fitter on the pitch when you start back up and play. So this is a good time to kind of get ahead of the rest of the team and the other teams in the league to work on your own game. So when you come back playing, you know, you're better than what you were.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good point. I think it gives everyone something to look forward to as well. I think the things that we do on a day-to-day basis, we sometimes take for granted. So I think going back to being able to do the things that we enjoy, we'll really, really thoroughly enjoy it. And it's something to look forward to, and we'll appreciate it so much more. And that goes with football, it goes with sort of socialising with friends and family. It can literally go for anything. Things that we've not been able to do, we'll really appreciate it just so much more.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good time to work on yourself, on your own kind of well-being and fitness. You know, if other people aren't, it's a good time to kind of get ahead and, you know, stay focused.
Definitely. I think a positive out of this as well is learning that actually we don't need to be with other people all the time. We can enjoy our own company and we can be happy doing our own thing. And I think it's something that's lost because our lives are so busy and hectic, and we're constantly having to keep up with sort of work and friends and this and that and the other, and feeling like we've got to fill our time. We've got no time for ourselves to think about what we want to do and our own positive mindset. So I think what we can take away from this is actually it's really important, even after lockdown, to take that time to be on your own and appreciate your own company and what you enjoy doing.
Yeah, fantastic. Couldn't agree more.
And there's other things. So it's not just football, it's not just cooking. You know, you can work on your fitness, do exercises in your house. I know with Mike and Shaq have posted some different workouts that you can do with no equipment needed. So, you know, have a look at them, give them a go. I know Shaq's put some challenges on, so try and see if you can beat his scores on the challenges and see how they go for you, because it's all going to benefit you, especially like the key areas that you've mentioned. You've done well to replace it with cooking. That's a really good one. It's something that you can take and carry on after the lockdown, but also different ways of training. So without football, if you're indoors, you can work on your ball skills in the park now, and then you should have better fitness.
Yeah, definitely. So just in case you're not aware, next week is Mental Health Awareness Week. So this starts from the 18th to the 24th of May this year, and it will be focusing on pushing for a wider community support for people severely affected by mental illness. We just wanted to quickly touch on it now, just to explain a little bit more about the week, but also just to say that mental health isn't just something that we should be thinking about for 1 week of the year. It is something that we should be thinking about every single day of every year. Not just our own, but other people's mental health around us, and how we can help support them. So I'm just going to pass over to Mim now, who's going to talk a little bit about Mental Health Awareness Week and things that can be taken from that. So Mim, over to you.
Yeah, so James has covered it really with saying that it shouldn't just be for 1 week, it should be all throughout the year. I think it's a really good way to sort of highlight the support that we're able to access, not just through Mental Health Awareness Week, but all throughout the year. So there's different apps, there's different helplines that you can contact. You can also contact them anonymously. So if it's sort of a self-referral, and you can refer other people, so it might be worth reaching out to someone if you think they're struggling and letting them know that there is that support available. And yeah, I think it's really important as well to understand that everyone deals with things differently, so to sort of maintain the support that you're offering to your friends, your family. I know me personally, when I'm struggling with my mental health, or if I'm having a day where I think actually I don't really want to converse with people, I just like to be left alone. So it's about understanding that some people don't want to talk about it, and that's okay. They might just need that space, but it's about giving them the olive branch to know that if they do want to talk to someone, that the support is available to them, and to not sort of take that personally if someone doesn't want to talk about it, because it's about recognising that everyone does deal with it differently. But yeah, I think it's just really important to sort of raise awareness over the next week, that there is support available.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Mim, as well. Like something I read, so it can affect anyone at any time, and it's everyone's business. So I think that next week's so important to make that we keep making a bigger and bigger deal out of it, so more and more people feel comfortable talking about it. And I know that the hashtag for next week is that kindness matters, and I think that's such a simple but key point to raise, that it doesn't cost anything. It's not a lot of effort to just ask someone how they are, how they're doing, and be kind.
Definitely, I couldn't agree more. I think it's also really important to recognise that you can offer that support to people, but people aren't always willing to take it at that time. But I think it's still important to let that person know, actually, we understand that you want to sort of have this day alone and within your own thoughts, but just to reassure them, we are here. And when
the door's always open.
Yeah, exactly. Because some people may feel quite isolated when they're feeling like that, and that they don't want to talk to anyone. But actually, when they come out of that mindset, it's important for them to know that people are still there for them, and that they're not taking it personally that they don't want to talk to that person. It's about the reassurance that they're not alone.
Yeah, and just to be aware, really, if someone's messaging you asking you how you are, be aware that they might be asking you so you can ask them, because they might be struggling. So it doesn't take a lot just to be kind and give someone a bit of attention or a message just to check in and see how they are.
So just to touch on that, guys, if you are struggling, it's important to know that there's support available, whether you're already accessing support or whether you're not. But just a couple off the top of our heads: there's Childline, Cooth, Mind, there's the Calm app, and there's also us. We're always here 24/7 to help. We've got our Facebook page, and someone will be back to you as soon as possible. So the times that we're online to help are on our Facebook page. So if you are wanting an instant reply, then you can check to see what time we've got a member of staff active, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay, so to finish off this week, we're going to finish off with our tip of the week again. And something else that we wanted to add was we're all going to tell a little joke. I can't guarantee they'll be funny. They're probably terrible, but we haven't told each other them yet. So we'll see what reaction we get. So starting with my tip of the week, I touched on it earlier, but my tip of the week is that if you are struggling to get out of the house at this time, we have now been told that we can go out and exercise as much as we want. So my tip is, if you are struggling to get out and about at the minute, try and get yourself out there once a day, even if it's just for a quick walk around the block. You don't want to end up in a stage where you are struggling to get out your own house. So just get out for 10 minutes and just get a bit of fresh air, and you will feel better for it. It will make you feel better. So that's my tip of this week. Okay, so I'm just going to pass over to Ed for his tip of the week, and then we'll do the jokes at the end.
I actually like your tip of the week, James. That's what I do. So I can definitely recommend that from kind of a personal thing that I've done in the past and currently doing. My tip is almost the opposite of that, actually. So it's, if you are feeling down, exhausted, and everything's getting to you a bit, you're not maybe getting enough sleep at night, is take a break, take a nap, have a nap in the day. You know, if you're really struggling, you can't switch off, try your best just to have about a 20-minute nap is recommended. You normally need probably a half an hour to 40-minute window for this. Just allows time either side to fall asleep and wake up properly. You don't want to fall asleep for too long, so you don't want to get into a deep sleep, because that might stop you sleeping at night and ruin that kind of routine that we've been on about being so important. So you want around 20 minutes. It will differ from person to person, but you know, that's my little tip. Something I've used in the past, and it seems to help. I wake up a bit like feeling refreshed, a bit more awake. You know, I'm a bit
more energized. Yeah,
a bit more energized and proactive. So it's definitely helped me. That's my tip.
Great stuff. And Mim, your tip of the week?
Yeah, so my tip of the week, I've got two. I'm cheating a bit. So think of 3 positive things each day. And my second one is think of a stick and a leaf. So something you're going to stick with and something you're going to leave behind.
Oh. Was that your joke as well?
No, I'm just naturally funny. What can I say?
Okay, so who wants to go first with their joke?
Mim, what are your 3 things, by the way? So what are they? 3 things to what?
So think of 3 positive things a day.
Oh, okay. Nice. I like that. Yeah.
And then think of a stick and a leaf. So something you're going to stick at.
Yeah.
That went well, and something you're going to leave behind.
Yeah. So I just wanted to hear that again.
Ironically, that's probably better than the jokes that are about to come. So
yeah. Go on then. Well, I've got a few, just because they're so funny. I thought that I couldn't pick one, so I'll kick us off.
Okay.
What do you call a dinosaur that is sleeping?
Don't know.
Don't know.
A dinosaur. Yes, I've got a laugh.
Wow.
That's one laugh. So
yeah, 1-0.
Oh.
Go for it, James.
Okay. 2 fish in a tank. One turns to the other and says, "Do you know how to drive this thing?"
Wow.
I like it. Mim, I don't think you're going to beat either of them, but give it a go.
Okay. What do you call a dog with no legs?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
No.
Doesn't matter, it's not going to come. I thought I was going to get a better response than that, guys.
I think you won the worst award.
Okay. I've got another. Why did the student eat his homework?
I don't know.
Any ideas, Mim?
No.
Because the teacher told him it was a piece of cake.
Wow.
That okay. I take it back. That was the worst one yet. That was terrible.
Finish that. Good one to finish on. And for anyone listening, if you've got any jokes that might cheer someone up, even with how bad they are,
Let's face it, they can't be any worse than ours.
Can't be any worse. We have led by example. Drop them in the comment box, and maybe make someone else smile if they come on and read it. Let's spread the positivity and a bit of laughter.
Yeah, and definitely. Also, guys, just an idea. You could leave some jokes underneath the podcast when we upload it, and we can announce the winner of which one we thought was the funniest maybe next week. Something to look forward to.
Good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
All right then, guys. I think that's it from us again this week. So have a good week, stay safe, and we'll be back on again next week.
See you later, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.